Well, before we get into the topic that I wanted to address, I would like to know, since you are in China, and this is, we're getting toward the end of the coronavirus, hopefully, could you tell us a little bit about what the situation is in China and how businesses are responding to this new normal? What do you see out
Indeed,
there? Yeah.
indeed. Well, the situation here is that there is certainly a feeling of recovery. We are definitely well into the recovery phase, or at least perceived so, which is good. Business-wise, it has been a weird 4 months. So everything, as everybody knows, essentially shut down for almost 2 months here in China. I would say since February, well into April. But then everything slowly started picking up pace again, and now essentially everybody is back to work. We have seen an interesting switch to remote working, home working, and we have been mostly dealing with our clients virtually for the past few months, which, being a very sociable Italian person, it has been quite painful, I have to say, because I do enjoy face-to-face meetings very much, but obviously social distancing was absolutely necessary. Now, business-wise, the situation here is that most of the organizations, most of companies at all levels have resumed operations. So after quite a few weeks of essentially almost everything on hold, now things are going again. And people is back in the office. There is still a certain number of organizations that are allowing for flexible working hours and remote working, especially for those white collars that need to still handle their children at home, because actually the way China is reopening the schooling system is actually quite interesting. So they're giving priority to higher level schools. So universities and high schools are already opening, but they are delaying reopening elementary schools and kindergartens. So many families are still handling this situation with some level of homeschooling that obviously impacts the way people can get to the office, of course, and many companies are also still having an alternate, or let's say rotating flexible hours in the office, so that they divided their teams in halves or thirds, and they make them rotate into the office, so to minimize the number of people in the same room at any given time.
Interesting. Well, Fabrizio, we'll continue to, I'd like to continue to talk about how businesses are responding and how managers are responding, but let's do that in the course of the conversation.